The world of trading is sold like a fantasy, a carefully edited highlight reel. Fast cars, screens glowing green, a laptop by the ocean, a life without alarms, bosses, or limits. But there is a truth buried beneath those images, a truth so uncomfortable that almost no one talks about it honestly. Between your first deposit and your first consistent withdrawal, there is a place. A psychological wasteland, a silent battlefield, a desert that burns your ego during the day and freezes your confidence at night. I call it the pain phase, and every real trader, every profitable trader, has crossed it. If you feel like the market is personally hunting your stop losses, if your chest tightens every time you open a chart, if you've whispered, "I think I'm done," more times than you can remember, this video is for you. Because what you are experiencing is not failure, it is initiation. The market is not punishing you, it is reshaping you. And today, we are going to talk about why this pain is mandatory, why you cannot skip it, and how to survive it long enough to become something rare, a rule-bound trader. The illusion of early success. Almost every trader begins the same way, not with discipline, not with mastery, but with luck. You enter the market during a favorable period, a strong trend, a forgiving volatility regime, or a time when almost any entry seems to work. You make money early, and that is the most dangerous gift the market can give you. Because early success doesn't teach skill, it teaches false confidence. You win without rules, without a plan, without risk management, and your brain draws a conclusion: I get this. You start to believe trading is about intelligence, about being sharp, about seeing what others don't. You look at losing traders and think, how do they mess this up? But here's the trap. The market hasn't tested you yet. It hasn't challenged your discipline because you don't have any. It hasn't challenged your psychology because you haven't needed control. Then something changes. The trend slows. The volatility shifts. Your entries stop working. One loss becomes two. Two becomes five. Five becomes a week of red. And the money you emotionally claimed as yours evaporates. This is the first psychological trauma of trading, the fall from illusion to reality, from "this is easy" to "I don't know what I'm doing." This moment marks the true beginning of the pain phase. The three dimensions of pain. Most traders think they are fighting charts. They are not. They are fighting themselves on three levels. 1. Financial pain, the visible wound. This is the pain everyone understands, watching money disappear. Not numbers, not pixels, but time. Hours worked, energy spent, dreams postponed. For some traders, that capital represents family sacrifices, years of saving, a desperate attempt at freedom. When it vanishes, it feels personal, and the brain reacts to financial loss the same way it reacts to physical pain. Your body tightens, your breath shortens, your thoughts become narrow. This is why revenge trading feels irresistible. Your nervous system wants the pain to stop now. 2. Ego pain, the hidden knife. This pain is far worse. Money can be replaced. Ego damage cannot, at least not easily. Every losing trade is a message: you were wrong. And humans hate being wrong. Your ego exists to protect your identity, your intelligence, your competence, your self-image. The market does not care. It humiliates everyone equally. Degrees don't matter, status doesn't matter, confidence doesn't matter. The chart does not negotiate. This is why losses feel insulting, not because of the money, but because they expose the gap between who you think you are and what the market proves you to be. 3. Uncertainty pain, the silent burnout. This is the pain that destroys traders slowly.
Your brain evolved for survival. Survival requires predictability. Trading offers none. You can do everything right and still lose. Living in this constant uncertainty floods your system with stress hormones. Cortisol becomes your baseline. You don't relax, you don't detach, you don't sleep well. This is why traders burn out even without blowing accounts. They are exhausted from not knowing. Why the market demands your pain. Here is the truth most mentors won't tell you. Trading is the only profession where your natural human instincts are your worst enemies. Let's break it down. Instinct, run from danger. Trading, sit calmly as your stop loss is hit. Instinct, grab resources when available. Trading, wait hours or days for one specific setup. Instinct, fight back when attacked. Trading, accept the loss and walk away. The pain phase exists because the market is reprogramming you. This is not metaphorical, this is biological. You are dismantling a survival brain and constructing a probabilistic one, and new neural pathways do not form without friction. Pain is the signal that change is happening. No pain, no transformation. The strategy hopping trap. During the pain phase, most traders make a fatal mistake. They assume the pain is caused by the system, so they search. New indicators, new mentors, new concepts, RSI to SMC to ICT to order flow to AI signals. Each change feels like relief, but it's an illusion because the pain was never in the strategy, it was in inconsistency. Every time you switch systems, you reset your learning curve. You never reach statistical confidence. You never allow the law of large numbers to work. You stay stuck in the desert, forever walking, never crossing. Becoming rule-bound. The pain phase does not end when you make money. It ends when you change identity. You stop being an emotional trader and become a rule-bound trader. Rule 1. Lower your size. Pain is information. If losses hurt too much, your size is too big. Trading oversized positions is ego masquerading as ambition. Reduce size until losses feel boring. Boredom is a sign of professionalism. Rule of 1. One strategy, one time frame, 100 trades. No exceptions. This shifts your focus from outcome to execution, from money to mastery. Rule 3. The Journal of Agony. Write everything. Not just entries and exits, but fear, anger, hesitation. Seeing emotions on paper breaks their power. You stop being the emotion and start observing it. The quiet victory. One day, something changes. You take a loss, and nothing happens. No anger, no spiral, no revenge. You close the platform. You live your life. That is the moment the pain phase ends, because you finally understand your worth is not measured in P&L. You followed your rules, and that is the only real win. If you are in the desert right now, keep walking, not because it's easy, but because turning back costs more than continuing.
The loneliness of the pain phase. There is a loneliness in trading that no one prepares you for. Not the kind of loneliness where you are physically alone, but the kind where no one around you understands what you are going through. Your friends don't get it. Your family doesn't get it. To them, you are just clicking buttons. They don't feel the tension in your chest when price approaches your level. They don't hear the internal debate when you hesitate before an entry. They don't understand how a single red trade can ruin your entire day. So you stop explaining. You stop talking. And slowly, trading becomes something you suffer through in silence. This isolation amplifies the pain phase. Because humans are not built to struggle alone. And yet, This solitude is intentional. The market isolates you because self-mastery cannot be crowdsourced. No one can sit in the trade for you. No one can follow the rules for you. No one can control your impulses except you. This is why the pain phase feels so personal, because it is. The identity crisis. At some point in the pain phase, a terrifying question appears. Maybe I'm not built for this. This question doesn't come from logic, it comes from exhaustion. You begin to doubt your intelligence, your discipline, your future. You look at profitable traders and think, they have something I don't. This is the identity collapse stage. The old identity, I am smart, capable, confident, can no longer survive repeated losses. So, it cracks. And this is where most traders quit, not because they lack skill, but because they refuse to let the old version of themselves die. But here's the paradox. You cannot become a professional trader without first becoming no one. No ego, no image to protect, no need to prove anything. The pain phase strips you down until only behavior remains. Rules, execution, probability. Nothing else survives. The war between hope and discipline. Hope is dangerous in trading. Hope feels good. Hope feels human. But hope is not a strategy. During the pain phase, hope becomes your enemy. You hope a losing trade will come back. You hope the market will respect your level. You hope this time will be different. Discipline, on the other hand, feels cold. It tells you to cut losses early, to walk away, to accept uncertainty. Hope says, just a little more. Discipline says, enough. The pain phase is the battlefield where these two forces collide, and only one survives. The addiction to screens. Few people talk about this, but they should. During the pain phase, traders develop unhealthy relationships with charts. You stare longer. You check more often. You look for reassurance in every candle. This is not analysis. This is anxiety disguised as effort. The market becomes your emotional regulator. Green candles equal relief. Red candles equal panic. And without realizing it, you hand over control of your nervous system to price movement. This is why professional traders trade less, not more. They don't need constant stimulation. They have rules, and rules replace obsession. The moment you stop chasing money. There is a turning point in every trader's journey. It doesn't come with fireworks. It comes quietly. You stop asking, how much can I make today? And start asking, did I follow my rules? This is the moment money loses its emotional charge. It becomes data, feedback, a byproduct, not a goal. This shift marks the beginning of true consistency. Because consistency is not about winning, it's about repeatability. The acceptance of loss. Amateurs try to avoid losses. Professionals expect them. Losses are not interruptions, they are part of the system. Once you fully accept this, something strange happens. Losses lose their power. They no longer define you. They no longer threaten you. They simply occur. This acceptance cannot be taught. It must be earned, and it is earned through pain. The emergence of the rule-bound identity. Eventually, a new identity forms. Quiet, calm, unimpressed by noise. You stop overreacting. You stop explaining yourself. You stop needing validation. You don't chase trades. You wait, because now you understand. Opportunities are infinite.
Capital is finite, and discipline is everything. This is the rule-bound trader. Not emotional, not hopeful, not fearful, just consistent. The final test. Before the pain phase releases you, it tests you one last time. A string of losses, right after you feel confident. This is not cruelty, it's confirmation. Will you break, or will you execute anyway? Those who pass this test don't celebrate. They don't feel relief. They feel neutral. And neutrality is power.
Life after the pain phase. When the pain phase ends, something strange happens. Nothing explodes. Nothing celebrates you. No one claps. Life simply gets quieter. You still wake up. You still open charts. You still place trades. But the chaos is gone. The noise in your head, the constant emotional commentary, has faded. You no longer feel like the market is judging you. You no longer feel watched, tested, or attacked. You understand something now. The market was never your enemy. It was your mirror. And once the mirror stops provoking a reaction, it loses its power. This is life after the pain phase. Not exciting, not dramatic, but stable. Why boredom is the highest level of mastery. Every beginner wants excitement, fast moves, big wins, adrenaline. Professionals want the opposite. They want boredom. Boredom means the rules are clear, the execution is automatic, the emotions are quiet. A boring trader is a dangerous trader, because boredom means you are no longer gambling for stimulation. You are executing a process. The market does not reward intelligence. It does not reward passion. It does not reward obsession. It rewards consistency. And consistency is boring. The end of overthinking. After the pain phase, you stop asking unnecessary questions. You don't wonder, what if this trade fails? What if I miss the move? What if I'm wrong? Because you already know the answer. Sometimes it fails. Sometimes you miss it. Sometimes you are wrong. And none of that matters, because your job is not prediction. Your job is execution. This is where overthinking dies, not because you became smarter, but because you became clearer. Protecting your edge. Here is a truth most traders learn too late. Your edge is fragile, not technically, but psychologically. Your edge disappears the moment you increase size too fast, abandon rules after a winning streak, seek validation instead of process. This is why professionals are boring people. They don't talk much. They don't show off. They don't explain their trades. They protect silence, because silence protects discipline. The final transformation. At the end of this journey, you don't feel powerful. You feel neutral. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to chase outcomes. You don't need to be right. You simply execute. This is the final transformation, from emotional participation to detached professionalism. You stop being entertained by the market. You start using it. Why most people will never reach this point. Most people don't fail because they lack information. They fail because they lack patience. They quit during the loneliness, the doubt, the boredom. They confuse emotional discomfort with failure. But discomfort was the test. The pain phase was never about money. It was about selection. Only those willing to suffer silently are allowed to trade calmly later. The meaning of being rule-bound. Being rule-bound is not about control. It's about surrender.
You surrender the need to be right, the need to win every trade, the need to feel special. And in that surrender, you gain freedom. Freedom of fear, freedom of impulse, freedom from yourself. Rules don't limit you, they protect you. If you made it through the pain phase, you are no longer the same trader that entered it. You are quieter, stronger, more dangerous. Not because you know more, but because you react less. The desert did its job. It burned away impatience, it crushed ego, it exposed weakness. And what survived is discipline. If you are still in the desert, keep walking. Not because the pain will disappear, but because you will change. Stay small, stay disciplined, stay rule-bound. If this series reflected your journey, like the video and subscribe. We don't chase hype here, we build traders. This is RuleBound Trader, and this was the pain phase.